everyone, I'm Sandi Colwell and welcome to the Videocast edition of Quilt Cabana Corner. Normally you're used to hearing me on my podcast over at Podbean or on iTunes, but today I thought that I'd try something new and start a videocast. I'm hoping to do a videocast once a week, maybe more, just to show you snippets of my day and what I'm working on in terms of quilts I have on the cutting board or that I'm working on the sewing machine or some fabric that I'm dyeing. Today I am dyeing fabric and I do have a few things to show you, and I'm also working on packaging some new patterns that I picked up from the printer yesterday. And I also want to talk to you about an awesome book that I'm reading by Susan Wiggs. It's called the Goodbye Quilt, and I hope that you'll find something to take away from this video cast today and each day that we do it. And if there's something that you want to see on this video cast, certainly get in touch with me and let me know. You can find me a few places. I'm www.quiltcabanapatterns.com, and you can link to my blog from there. And I'm also on Quilt Cabana Corner on Podbean. I'm also on Twitter, and I'm also on Facebook. So I'll post little notes on this YouTube video about where you can find me and how you can contact me. So this will be a new journey for me, and I hope also for you. And go grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. So today I'm also working on hand dyeing some fabric. I'm working on a pretty turquoise color here. And the reason why the glass jar is on top is to keep the fabric in the dye bath weighted down so that none of those corners peek up, because they won't be saturated with the dye and they might come out a little too whitish looking. So the reason why I'm dyeing fabric this week, and I'm going to do some next week, is to sell in the boutique at my guild's quilt show. So I thought I would work on a few cool colors and maybe sell them by the half yard there. So this is my kids' bathroom and their tub, and here are all my supplies, my different colored dyes and things. So I've blogged about this and podcasted about it before, so we won't spend too much time in here, but that is what I'm working on. And I do keep a little journal with swatches of fabric that I've dyed already so that I know how much dye I put in to get different combinations. So that's what's happening on the fabric dyeing side of life today. So on the cutting board today, I have two projects going. The first one, we'll start over here. The first one is for my church quilt group called So Much Love, and we make quilts for different charities. And in the fabric stash, I found these 10 panels. I thought there were 8, there are actually 10. So I'm going to put those together and put a red border on this quilt. And I don't have the red fabric yet, so I'll have to run to the store for that. And also over here, I don't know if you can tell, this fabric sort of has a white-orange peel print to it. And these are hexagon flowers that I made. And this is going to be a small quilt for my daughter's teddy bear. And it's a boy teddy bear, but she still wants the flowers on the quilt. So Duffy is going to get the white flowered quilt. So these have been all put together, but I still need to take the paper out and take the basting out. So I will put those on the ironing board with a little sizing and make them nice and stiff. And what I will do with those is just take a little stitch around the outside with the sewing machine. I'm not going to hand attach these because I feel like this quilt is probably going to hit the sewing machine at the washing machine a few times, so I might as well make sure they're on there good and sturdy. So she picked all the colors, and these fabrics were actually hand dyes that I bought all cut in 2-inch squares at a quilt show that I attended. So that was a great find for making little hexagons. So that's what's on the cutting board today, and I will be working on that. So recently I took down the create letters that I had hanging up here, if you remember from the video that I posted of my sewing room. It was the sewing room tour video, which is also on the Quilt Cabana channel on YouTube. And I replaced it with some quilts, 2 that I made and 1 that my mom made. My mother made this beautiful pineapple quilt for me, and I love it. Hanging it here in my craft room. It used to be in my dining room, which had been blue and yellow, but now my dining room is an eggplant color, so it doesn't quite match down there, but it goes beautifully up here. This was a Lone Star wall hanging that I made with Nancy Zeman's Lone Star toolkit, which is awesome and makes making these Lone Stars very simple. And over here is my Fusoscope quilt, which is going in my Quilt Guild show the first weekend in June. So that is what is hanging on the craft room walls these days. Not too much else has changed in here, other than I added my sewing machine, which I call Daisy. She is my Singer vintage sewing machine, and sadly she's not working, and it's going to cost me, you know, a good deal of money to get her up and working, so I think for now she's just going to be display. And this is my desk, which used to be my sewing table, but instead now my sewing table is over here, which I like better because if you can see, there's a light up there and it shines right down on my work, so it also works a little bit better for TV viewing as well. So that's what's happening in the craft room. Lots of projects going on. So in addition to things that I'm working on my cutting board and on my sewing machine and doing some fabric dyeing, today I am also working on packaging patterns up. I recently took my It's American pattern and my nautical table runner pattern to the printer to have the patterns all printed up, and they came back yesterday. So now I need to assemble them and put them in the pattern bags. And when I got them back, I was really pleased with the, oh sorry, that's my birds. That's Kiwi and Barney making a whole lot of noise over there. When I printed the pattern covers on my own printer at home, you can see the color didn't come out that great. It's not really true to what the quilts look like. But when the printer does it, it comes out so much nicer. All the color looks really so much better. So later today I will take these 2-up covers and use my paper cutter and cut them in half, and then I will fold the patterns and put them in the bags and get them ready for sale. So these patterns actually are also available on download, and you can get them through my Etsy store, and you can also get them on Craftsy. So if you were interested in those, and later when I go back upstairs, I can show you the actual quilts through this video. So I will head on upstairs and we can do that next. So here's just a short clip of those quilts in real life. This is the nautical one. And you can see it's pretty blue and sort of a cream and red color. And then over here, this is the It's American pattern. So those are the 2 newest quilts. So in this book by Susan Wiggs. Linda is the character in the book. She's talking about a journey she makes with her daughter across country to bring her daughter to college. And her daughter's doing the driving, so the mom, her name is Linda, as I said, she's working on a quilt that is using all fabric scraps from Molly's life. Molly's the daughter. Her first piano recital dress, her first day of school outfit, all these pieces of fabrics that have come together and are going to make this beautiful quilt to go with the daughter to college. And I keep laughing that every time I pick up this book, I have to go get tissue because I am just crying my way through this book. And I was trying to explain the book to my husband this morning, and he was just laughing at me because I'm standing there crying in the bathroom telling him about the book. And I think what it is that really touches me so personally is the sense of loss that Linda feels, that she's bringing her daughter to an unknown place to her, and her daughter's going to be having all these experiences that the mother's not going to get to share in. And of course that's perfectly natural, that's how things go, but being a mom of 3 girls and one who's just about 14, I know I only have a few more years left before I start to feel and experience those same emotions. So it's a very, it's kind of a hard book for me to get through, but it's really, really well written and it's very good. And I definitely recommend it because as she's quilting, she's doing hand stitching in the car, and she's stitching sentiments, words into the background of the quilt, depending on the experiences that they're talking about in their ride out to school or places that they're stopping along the way. And it's really funny because the mom is saying how she's forgotten to tell her daughter something, or she had 18 years to teach her, you know, to stay away from perverts and and older men, and did she tell her enough about that stuff? And the daughter's like, oh my gosh, Mom, stop it. You've already talked to me about this. Or they'll pass a landmark or something, and the mother will start to feel bad because she never took the daughter to see something when she was younger, and the daughter will say, Mom, you took me to see the Grand Canyon, or you took me to see this, or you took me to see that. You can't take me to see everything. So it's really a fascinating book to read. I hope if you get a chance you can pick it up at the store, at the library. Again, it's Susan Wiggs, The Goodbye Quilt, and Susan Wiggs has written lots of other nice books too. I've read a few of them. So hopefully you'll get to pick it up and read it and let me know what you think. So I guess that this is it for this very first video cast. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll come back and join me again soon. Thanks so much. Have a super day. Bye-bye.